no practicals, and hence the credit is 5. But because of this pandemic situation, we have lectures of 2 hours only. In first hour, that means in first 55 to 16 minutes, I'll explain you each topic by example, by definitions. Okay. And in the next hour, you all are supposed to do the examples which I am giving to you. Okay. So in next hour is a tutorial hour, and the first hour is a lecture hour. So we can go both of them. And in PS lecture, it is mandatory for all of you to have a notebook and a pen, so you can write something. I'll ask any students mandatory, and then he or she has to give me the answers. Okay. If they are stuck at somewhere, then I'm there. I'll be solving their queries. But this is the procedure to be followed. Okay. So examination marks. Theory is 70 marks. Your GTU question paper will be of 70 marks. And we are taking your mid-semester of 30 marks. So right now we don't know that the mid-semester would be of offline, means you'll be writing exam or online exam. Okay, and also we don't know that what we are considered as a mid-semester marks, best of 2 or average of 2. So you have to pay more attention on mid-semester. Okay. And of course on GTU paper, because at the last we don't know what happens with the GTU. It can give you the written exam in the month of November and starting the exam in the first week of December. So you should be prepared with each and every topic also. Okay, we are not having any practical marks. That means we are not taking any viva. And hence total marks of PS or probability and statistics are 100. So course outcome. The course outcome is the that thing that what student will be able to gain after he or she has learned the course, right? So CO1, each COs are concerned with each unit. So we are having 5 units, and hence we are having 5 COs. Okay. So CO1, what do you learn after studying unit number 1? Understand the terminologies of basic probability. Okay, so this is the basic probability only. The all term you have to use is of 11th or 12th standard. Okay, and for CBSE course it is of 10th standard. So nothing new will be coming in this unit. So it is a kind of basic probability you will have to learn. For unit 2, we are having CO. CO2 is observe and analyze the behavior of various discrete and continuous probability distribution. So we are having actually 2 type of probability, that is discrete and continuous, that I'll be explaining you in the lecture, that what is a discrete kind of random variable and what is the kind of continuous random variable. And after learning that in unit number 1, we are going to analyze discrete and probability distribution. So that thing I guess is a new for you. So you have to learn something new and very much useful things in unit number 2. Okay. For unit number 3, we are having CO3, that understand the central tendency, correlation and correlation coefficient and regression. This is a very basic chapter. You just have to remember 3-4 formulas and you will cover up all this chapter. Okay, so I'll tell you what is the correlation. Correlation is a thing in which one variable is affected by the change in other variable. Like right now there is a situation of COVID-19, so we all are affected because this is directly affects human beings or the animals. I don't know if it is affecting animals or not, but as this is affecting human beings, so we are affected by COVID-19. So this is a purely correlation. If the COVID-19 will be will be able to handle the COVID-19 in 2-3 months, then we'll be coming out of our homes. Okay, so this is correlation. For unit number 4, we are having CO4. This is something new and very interesting chapter. Okay, apply the statistics for testing the significance of sample data using t-test, f-test, and chi-square test. This is a must chapter of all the chapters. Okay, and CO5 is unit number 5's course outcome. That is, understand the fitting of various curves by method of least square. So we are able, if we are able to fit least square method on the available data, and hence will be fitting the various curves. I guess this chapter will be taught by me in the last of the chapter, unit number 5, because this is a very easy chapter. Okay, so we are having total 5 units. That basic probability. In basic probability, you will have to understand what is experiment, what is random experiment, what do you mean by probability, what is the conditional probability, what is all about independent event, Bernoulli trials, continuous random variable. Right, so we'll be studying both of the random variable, continuous random variable, and discrete random variables in basic probabilities. Okay, if you're having any doubt, you can unmute yourself and ask to me. Okay, and if my speed is more, then you can stop me. That madam, please go slowly because I really don't know what is happening to you. Okay. Second chapter is some spatial probability distribution, in which we are learning about binomial, Poisson, normal, exponential, all the type of distributions. Third is basic statistics. Basic statistics is dispersion, skewness, kurtosis, random variable, then correlation and coefficient, rank correlation coefficient, regressions, all these things are studied in basic statistics. Then it is the number 4, applied statistics. So in applied statistics, we are going to learn formation of hypothesis, test of significance, large sample test for single proportion, and so on. And for small samples, we are having significance test for 2 types of samples, small samples and big samples. Okay, so in small samples, you'll be learning t-test, correlation coefficient, f-test, all the tests. Okay, and in the unit number 5, we are going to fit the curve by the least square method. In that, you just have to remember the equations only, and you can fit the lines by using of calculator. Just calculate. Okay. So any doubt, anyone about 5 units? So here we are going, yeah. Any doubt? Okay. So here we are going to learn basic probability first. Then as we have started probability, so we have to continue with the spatial probability distributions. One second. हाँ मैडम हम लेक्चर में चुके थे. Then second, some spatial probability distribution as in a connection of probability. Then we'll be moving on statistics, that basic statistics. And fourth is applied statistics. And fifth is the different from all the things because we are using numerical methods in that. Okay, so fifth is curve fitting by numerical methods. Okay, so I don't think anybody has any doubt. We are going to learn the units, the number 1, then number 2, then number 3, then number 4, and lastly, then number 5. These are the reference books. I have uploaded 2 or 3 reference books in our e-contents also. So you can go buy the reference book over there also. You can have studied over there if you want to study. But for first and second, for first unit, you don't need any kind of reference books. For second unit, you can have reference books. Okay, you can have, you cannot have. It's up to you. It's your decision. Okay. Okay, then the evaluation scheme. We are having a tutorial examination of 70 marks and mid semester of 30 marks. So this is the evaluation scheme. We don't have any practical marks or viva marks. So we are having a total of 100 only. So it is very much necessary for you to understand each and every topic I am teaching and cover maximum marks in mid semester. So we are starting with the unit number 1, and that is basic probability. The it is having 20 percentage weightage. So it is having 12 to 14 marks. Minimum is 12 marks and maximum is of 14 marks. So 12 to 14 marks is the weightage of our chapter. Now let me give you the introduction. We know that if we are playing game of chance, like ladder, snake and ladder, right? It comes with die. What we are, what are we getting as the outcome of a die, right? If we are playing games of card, right? Then we don't know what will be the outcome, what will be the cards in favor of us and what will be the cards who are not favoring to us. Okay, I'm talking about the fair games, not unfair games that you have to uh, arrange cards in such a way that it will be helpful for you. Okay, and the tossing a coin, we don't know what will be the outcome, right? Either head or tail. So we need to understand the types of probability and operations related to it. Okay. So first of all, let me give you the definition of random experiment. What is the random experiment? A random experiment is any of the experiment you are doing with tossing coin, throwing die, right? So the definition is it is the one in which each trial conducted under identical condition where the outcome is not predictable. You cannot predict outcome that what will be. Right? In I guess PUBG it is not predictable then what will be the next step or stage. Right. So at some or less points it is also there also comes probability. Okay. Then mutually exclusive events. So what is the definition of mutually exclusive events? Okay, if the occurrence of all the output cannot occur together, like if I'm tossing a coin, then head and tail cannot occur together. This is the simplest example of mutually exclusive events. Head or tail are not the events who are occurring together. That means A and B. That is A intersection B. If we are talking about and, if we are talking about two things and we are having and object in them, then it is A intersection B. And if A intersection B is 5, that means it is a null set. Then it is mutually exclusive event. Now next is exhaustive events. What is the definition? Events of a random experiment are said to be exhaustive if at least one of them necessarily occurs. Now definition look like something it is saying whatever it is saying we are not able to get, right? That's why I have given example. Suppose you are throwing a die. Die is having 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So S is a sample space. Sample space means તમારી કેટલી outcome આવે છે any space. તમારે કેટલી outcome આવે છે S માં તો 1 આવી શકે, 2 આવી શકે, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So these are the outcomes S. So let A that we are getting even numbers. that is 1, 3, 5. Right? And be the event of odd number. Oh, I have misplaced this one. Even numbers mouse at 2, 4, 6. I'm really sorry. And odd number mouse at 1, 3, and 5. I'm really sorry. I have misplaced this events. Right, 1, 3, and 5 are the odd numbers. Then if A and B are exhaustive, so if I if 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the events are as even number or odd number, even માં આવે છે 2, 4, 6 and odd માં આવે છે 1, 3, and 5. So it is possible that we are getting at least one outcome of all the even number or odd number events, right? That means A or B, A or B, or matlab union. So if I'm having A or B, or A union B is equal to S, S is sample space. So A union B is equal to sample space S, then events are said to be exhaustive. Any doubt with this? Okay. Now equally like events. If one of the event cannot be expected to take place in preference of the another event, such events are both equally likely events. For example, getting a 3 on the toss of a die and getting a 5 on the toss of a die, because die is having 6 sides, right, are equally likely events because the probability of each event is equal. Okay. Next is independent event. The events are said to be independent if happening of one event is not depending on the happening or non-happening with the other event. Like you are tossing a coin, then happening of head or tail is not depending on previously result. Previously, if it is tossed, if you have tossed the coin, right, and if it is head, then in the next event it can be head also and it can be tail also. So you are not able to say that, oh, previously I was having head, so next I'll be having head only. I'm talking about fair coin. Okay. So if two events are independent, that means A and P are independent events. Then P of A intersection B, P of A and B is equal to P of A into P of B. Like you can understand this thing by the following example. Suppose P of A is 0.70 and P of B is 0.20, and A and B are independent. We know that A and B are independent. In the example only it is given, right? What is the probability of occurring both of them together? That means A and B. A intersection B, right? So as we know, A and B are independent events. So P of A intersection B, that means probability of occurring both the events is P of A into P of B, and hence 0.70 into 0.20. So we are having 0.14. Right. This is a very basic example. Okay. Then compound event. When two or more events occur in connection with each other, then there are simultaneous occurrence is called compound event. Right. Suppose in a carom, we are having queen, and after that we'll have to throw a die and have another hello, and we'll have a red or black or white. Okay, so that is the compound event. Okay, complementary event. So What is complementary? It is like set only. This is the set operations only. So A dash is equal to S minus A. S is the sample space and A is the probability we are getting. So A dash is S minus A is said to be a complementary event. Now we'll be learning about the mathematical definition of probability. Okay. If any experiment results in an exhaustive event. Now, Bhavin will be giving me the answer that what do you mean by exhaustive event? Bhavin?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what is exhaustive event? What do you mean by exhaustive event? If any of the resulting events are occurring once, right, then it is called to be exhaustive event. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And mutually exclusive. Now we'll be giving it answer Sanjay. Sanjay will be giving the answer of mutually exclusive. What do you mean by mutually exclusive?
Ma'am, don't
Sanjay,
know.
we just have done the definitions right now. Okay. And
Okay.
you have forgot the mutually exclusive that you have learned in 11th or 12th science. Amita. Mutually exclusive, that means A intersection B are phi. That means their intersection is phi. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And equally likely outcomes. And if m of them are favorable to the occurrence of an event A, then the probability of A is P of A, that is number of favorable outcomes divided by total number of outcomes. If I'm having 6 points as sample space, then that will be the total number of outcomes. That how many outcomes I have if I'm tossing the die. That is 6. Total number is 6. And number of favorable outcome. If I have an event that number of 4 occurring. How many times 4 occurring? One time. So 1 divided by 6. That will be the probability of occurring event with number 4. So m divided by n when 0 is less or equal to p of a is less or equal to 1. So this is you have to remember probability in any world cannot be negative. It can be 0 or at maximum it can be 1. It cannot go beyond 1. It is 1. So your probability will always be in 0 to 1. You have to remember this 0 to 1. Okay. And P is the probability and Q is the complement event. P plus Q is equal to 1. P of it's in some case you're having P of A is equal to 0. Then A does not occur at all. Right. P of A dash, that is Q, is 1 minus P. Are you getting me? Beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right now I'm starting a video. Okay, you have this video is prepared by mathematics department only. We didn't downloaded it from YouTube. This is our effort to make you understand about the probability. You're able to see video?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Uh, Tell me if you are hearing my sound or not hearing my sound.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is it audible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And is it
No, ma'am.
audible?
No, ma'am. It's not audible.
Is it audible?
No, ma'am.
Is it વચ્ચે audible થયું હતું બેટા?
Now.
Audible જ નથી?
Now.
Let me check. I'm trying.
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. It's not audible to me.
હવે audible છે બેટા?
Now.
Hello?
Yeah. No, ma'am. It's not audible.
Hello? Suchi?
Hello. Hello. Yes, ma'am. Hello. Ma'am, it's not audible.
Hello, ma'am.
Is it audible right now?
Yes, ma'am. Now
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
audible.
Okay. So I am repeating it again from starting. Okay, have you seen the video?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me explain you. This video is totally made by our faculties. Okay, yeah. So the guy is saying, what is probability? What do you mean by probability? Probability means anything occurs in a chance of a game, right? So he is giving you probability is a measure of likelihood of an event to occur. If some events are occurring, then it is said to be possibility. Possibility, probability. Okay. If COVID-19 will be gone in September or October, then the colleges will start for students, right, in November. So that is a probability or possibility. Now this is 0 and 1. Right? Probability cannot occur less than 0 and more than 1. 0 is impossible event. If something is not happening, then the probability of that thing is 0. Right? And something is certainly happens, then probability of that is 1. Right? In between 0 and 1 we are playing. All our games are in between 0 and 1. At half, that means at even chance, we are having 1 by 2. That means if we are tossing a coin, then total events are 1 and 2. And having a head is event 1. So 1 by 2. Right. So it is even chance of happening or not happening of head or tail of that event. Right. If I'm having a die, right. So if I'm having if I'm counting a probability of occurring 1 out of 6 chances, that will be 1 by 6. Or if I'm counting the probability of happening 2 in all the 6 chances, then it will be 1 by 6. So it is nearly 0 and 1 half, 1 by 6. So it is unlikely event. So we are not able to predict a very large outcome ourselves. And likely events, that means if we are having 5 balls, right? And if we are having event of happening 4 in 5 chance, that means 4 by 5, we are having 4 blue balls in 5 blue ball chances. That means 1 is left. So 4 by 5 is nearly 1. So that is called likely events. Okay. Now these are the examples of event that the sun rises or rising from west. Now it is impossible event we know, but also we know that in 2020 anything can be happen, right? It started with the foreign fire in January. There was foreign fire in January, forest fire in Australia. If you know that many animals were killed or were burned in that fire, and then COVID-19, then cyclone, obviously, then earthquakes, right? So it's like nature has to take all the experiments on us, right? So this can also be happen in 2020. And area of square increases in size. This is a very possible event, and we all know that the area of square, if we want to expand the area of a square, then what we'll be having to do? We have to increase the size. I'm not able to see, this may or may not happen. Wait, okay. Okay, that is getting 6 on a dice. So it may or may not happen. After throwing it and after coming the results, we are able to see that if it is a happening event or not happening event. So here comes with the mathematical formula for probability. That event is occurring if number of times the event occurred and number of trials. If I'm having head and tail, then will be giving me the answer Alvish. Alvish, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What is the uh, probability of occurring a head in a tossing tossing a coin?
1/2.
Yeah, 1/2. Yeah, that's right. That is it. So that is the meaning of probability. That is here everything is a small letter, but because of some problems, the faculty has taken everything in a bad on a capital letters. Right, you have to think all about the small letters only. So let P of A be M upon N, then P plus 2 is 1, because P of A, probability of A is from 0 to 1 only. And P of A is 0 if and only if A does not occur. Okay. And P of A dash, that is the complement event. Q, small q, is 1 by 1 minus P. So it's all about the probability. Anyone has any doubt? Okay. Are you able to see this presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the thing we have to take a note is P of A is M by N and 0 is less than P of A is less than or equal to 1, because in the example or in exams, some of the students are having minus answers, so it is not possible to get any event in minus. In this world, in this real world, everything is in real world. That means 0 to 1 only, right? It is never occurring greater than 1 also. So if you are having answer 1.6566, it is wrong, but okay. Okay, so you have to take care of probability of occurring of probability is 0 to 1. Now these are the theorems or conditions on probabilities. Suppose there is an event A belonging to the sample space S. So sample space is the space outcome. A is the event. Then P of A, that means probability of event A, which satisfies the following theorems. That non-negativity, that is 0 is less or equal to P of A, that means probability of A less or equal to 1 for every A. Okay. Certainty, that P of S, probability of all the sample space is 1 only, maximum. Okay. Additivity, if A and B are two mutually exclusive events. Mutually exclusive का मतलब होता है कि A intersection B. That means A and B should be phi. So occurring of A or B, A or B is given by P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B. Actually, the theorem is of this type: P of A union B is equal to P of A plus P of B minus P of A intersection B. But here we are considering two mutually exclusive events. So A intersection B is 5 and probability of that event is 0. Okay, probability of phi is 0. So A minus j to P of A intersection phi integrate and P of A plus P of B. But this is applicable only when we are having two mutually exclusive events. Okay. These are some of the theorems that if A and B are any two events in the sample space. So these are all the theorems. I'll be giving you explanation of each of them in examples, because in examples only we are able to understand them. Okay, you have a look at them for 1 minute. I'm giving you. Okay, let's take one example. A fair dice is thrown, then what is the probability of getting at least 4 and at most 5? At least 4 એટલે તો કે જ્યારે તમે થ્રો કરો ડાઈસ ને ત્યારે ઓછામાં ઓછું 4 આવવું જોઈએ. 4 થી ઓછું તો ના જવું જોઈએ. 4 ઓછામાં ઓછું હોવું જોઈએ. 4 થી વધારે આવે તો ચાલે. So it is okay if we are having numbers more than 4, but it is not possible to have any number less than 4. So, and at most એનો મતલબ maximum level 5 હોવું જોઈએ. It cannot have more than 5. That means 6 cannot happen. Less than 5 can happen. Okay. So solution. I guess we'll be having notepad in next week, so I'll be able to understand you more. Okay. સમજાય છે ને બેટા બધાને?
Yes, ma'am.
Penny, are you getting no?
Yes, ma'am.
Penny, are you getting no? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So solution. S. Let S be the sample space. હંમેશા sample space માં આપણે S જ નાખવાનું. Okay, so આપણે કંઈ confuse થવાનું રહે. So let S be a sample space, and A be the probability for at least 4, and B be the probability for at most 5. So how many probability will occur if we are throwing a die? But obvious it is 6. So S is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. A with the probability of at least 4. ઓછામાં ઓછું 4 આવવું જોઈએ. વધારે ગમે એટલું હવે ચાલે. 4, 5, and 6. As it is dice, so maximum event can happen to 6. So 4, 5, and 6. At most 5. વધારેમાં વધારે 5. 5 થી વધારે નહીં. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the event B. Now probability of A, we are counting probability. Probability of A is 3. Number of A is 3 and number of S, total number of events, is 6. So 3 by 6 is half. And probability of B is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. And the total probability is 6. So probability of B is 5 by 6. So this is the probability of at least 4. At least 4 માં કેટલું આવે છે? half. અને 5 by 6 માં કેટલું? અને B at most 5 માં કેટલું આવે છે? 5 by 6. Okay. Fine. An unbiased coin is tossed for 3 times. Right. Find the probability of exactly two heads. You have found something that is a power set 2 raised to n. N is number of times. So 2 raised to n, you are having 3 times. That means total probability in sample space will be 8. Count it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2 raised to 3, so 8. And that's what the first of we are having head. First two we are having head and next tail. Then first having head, next having tail, and next is also having a head. Then first having tail, then head, and then head. Then first two will be having tail, and next will be head. Then tail, head, tail, tail, and triple tail. Right. So this is the outcome. Okay. So A with the probability of exactly two heads. Right. You are having two heads, not more than two, not less than two. That means two. So we are finding what are the exactly two heads. This HHT is having two head. HTH is having two head. THH is having two head. So probability of A will be 3 out of 8. Okay, fine. Now let me give you the example. Okay, I'm giving you a very simple example. That if I'm having a toss of a coin for 2 times, write down, everyone should be writing down. A coin should be tossed for 2 times. Then how many or what is the probability of occurring no head? Occurring no head. Okay.